At starsports.bet, we are betting 1/5 the odds for 7 places in this week's BMW PGA Championship from Wentworth. 18 years and older only. BeGambleAware.org.
Light the candle, Tiger!
Hello there, welcome along. Thanks for joining us for the Racing Post Golf Postcast. It's Bruce Millington and Steve Palmer looking ahead to one of the highlights of the British golfing year, the BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. We've also got the Sanderson Farms Championship over in America. Steve's back from a 2-week break, hopefully refreshed and raring to go with some winners. Steve, I know that when you're away, you don't like to kind of torture yourself by studying a tournament to see if you would have tipped the winner, but do you think you would have tipped either of last week's winners, Neiman or Sergio Garcia?
Yeah, because I don't go through the processes, I can't get involved. So yeah, I had a fortnight off and missed 3 tournaments. I wouldn't have had Paul Casey in the European Open. I'm not a huge Paul Casey fan. Wouldn't have had Sergio Garcia in the KLM. No, I think that was a surprising result, but I'm almost certain I would have had Joachim Neiman for the Greenbrier. I mean, he dropped a couple of huge hints in his previous visits there. He finished 29th as an amateur there in his first regulation PGA Tour event. He finished 5th there last year, which was best finish of the season. So yeah, I'm pretty gutted about Neiman. He's closed with a 64 in that event all 3 times he's been there. Incredible statistics. So yeah, I'm certain I would have had Neiman, but I wouldn't have had the other 2.
Well, the good news is that Ian Wilkerson, your very able deputy, stood in and tipped Neiman. So well done to Wilco. Any lessons from last week, Steve, or indeed the week before? You don't, obviously, like I say, you're recharging the batteries, but I'm sure you keep your finger on the pulse as well. So anything you've learned in the last couple of weeks that would be of use to punters?
No, I always keep my finger on the pulse, Bruce, as you well know. I mean, the fortnight off I didn't actually go anywhere, so I was able to watch quite a lot of golf.
You sang our day out playing golf. It was nowhere. You didn't enjoy that, no?
Oh, I'd forgotten all about that. But no, it was all designed around my daughter. My daughter was starting school, so I just wanted to take the golfing stress out of the household because she was under enormous mental strain herself. She tried to eat her shoes on the first morning. A very cunning plan to try and stop having to go to school. She attempted to eat her school shoes. She thought that would get her out of school. So yeah, I just thought keep myself calm and then try and transmit that calm over to her. So once I got her to school, then I could watch a bit of golf. And I think Nikolai Hodggaard needs to be mentioned. Did you watch him in the KLM? I mean, he gave Sergio Garcia a good game, and I think it was 1,000 to 1 for that I hear. 18-year-old Danish player. He looks to have a big future. So I've got my eye on Nicola Hodggaard now. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce it. And then in the other event, Sebastian Munoz played well again, didn't he? Closed with 3 consecutive 66s. So yeah, I kept my eye across all of it, all of the golfing action, and quietly confident this week actually.
Good. I've never tried eating shoes, but I do love a bit of soul. Right then, which tournament should we start? Well, never mind which tournament should we start with. We'll start with the BMW PGA Championship, thank you very much, because we've got a fantastic field. Poor old Glenn Doe, who normally joins us, is ill, so he can't make it. So I'm going to be Glenn. I'll read out the Star Sports prices on the tournament. Star Sports are paying fifth the odds, 7 places. There's 6 to 1 Rory McIlroy, 11 to 1 Big John Rahm, 14 Paul Casey, 16 Justin Rose. You can hear from these names, we are talking a stellar field this year, not the usual European fare. 20 to 1 Tommy Fleetwood, 22 Stenson, 25 Molinari, and Matt Wallace and Matt Fitzpatrick, and indeed Tony Finau. 28 Shane Lowry, 28 Victor Hovland, 30 to 1 Patrick Reed, and 33 to 1 Barr. So Steve, what a fantastic tournament. Are you excited?
I am very excited. Yeah. I'm sad to hear Glenn's not well. I'll get well soon, Glenn. But my excitement levels are quite high. This is always one of the highlights of the calendar. Obviously, usually in May, we've switched to September this year. Normally we have our trips to Wentworth in May, but we're in September. But I don't think that's going to be a huge factor. I mean, the weather's been very good lately in Surrey. The forecast for this week is absolutely amazing. So it's sort of summer weather conditions for this one. The famous West Course is a Harry Colt design. Had a lot of changes over the last few years, but they seem to have got it absolutely perfect now. The players all love it, I think strong driving is the key this week. It's tough to find the fairways at Wentworth. Very tall, tree-lined fairways. I'm looking for strong drivers with a sharp short game.
Have you played this course, Steve?
I've played it a few times actually, without sounding too cocky. Yeah, there's been a few media days there, and I got on quite well with one of the former secretaries. Sound like Peter Alice now, don't I? I got on well with one of the former secretaries, and I have played it a few times. There's another course there as well, the East course, which is slightly easier. But I know my way around the West course.
It's impossible, isn't it? I played it once, and it was it's the most impossible golf course, and they've made it harder, haven't they?
They have. It's a very different beast to how it was in the start of the millennium. It's a tough, tight tree line track now. And I've been focusing my attention this week on strong drivers.
Okay, so tell us who your main selection is then.
Main selection is the champion golfer of the year, Shane Lowry. Obviously won the Open in tremendous fashion. He must feel 10 feet tall now. He's past the ultimate hurdle. It was Roy the Rover stuff, wasn't it, to delight the home galleries like he did. He's had a long break. He hasn't played much golf since then. I think that was a sensible tactic. He turned his back on the WGC riches, wasn't really into the FedEx Cup playoff. So he's as fresh as a daisy. And I think he's coming to an event this week that he should have won in the past. He's had great chances. He's got 6 top 15 finishes at Wentworth. He almost won it in 2014. He lost by a shot to Rory McIlroy when he was ranked 142nd in the world. So he's overdue a Wentworth win. He's determined to play well this week. The Ryder Cup points race starts this week. We must mention that. Shane Lowry, his focus is on achieving a Ryder Cup debut.
Who's the captain next time?
Podrick Harrington's the captain. Obviously, Lowry's good friends with Harrington. So, he's determined to get on that team. I think he will get on that team, but he'd be keen to get off to a good start this week. I think he can follow the example of Rory McIlroy and Francesco Molinari. McIlroy in 2014 did the Open and PGA double. Molinari did it last year.
Are you not slightly concerned, though, Steve, that, since Royal Portrush, we haven't actually seen him play any great stellar golf, have we?
No, he's played twice. He played 2 FedEx Cup playoff events, 4 good rounds, 4 bad ones. But I think he would have prepared thoroughly for this one. It's 2 months ago now, the Open victory. He knows Wentworth is a big opportunity for him. He loves the course. I think, I'm banking on him having done some serious practice for it. I think if he can get off to a good start, he's got a nice morning tee time, flat, calm on Thursday, warm sunshine. I think, if he can get off to a decent start, I think he'll really grow into the event. And, if he gets a winning chance this time, in the past, he's been a bit edgy, big tournament. Now he's the Open champion. I think he'll be a colossus on that leaderboard. Lovely
stuff. Right then, I think there's 4 other fancies, aren't there? And they're a fair way down the list, these, aren't they?
That's right, yeah. 4 at big prices. Jos Luathorn is the next best. He's a 6-time European Tour champion. I think he's a strong enough character to handle the PGA. He's got a good record in UK events. I mean, this is there's going to be big crowds this week. Your average European Tour event does not attract the atmosphere that this one will. It'll be a very, very well attended event. I think Luathorn can handle it. He's won the Wales Open before. He hasn't done himself justice in this event in previous years, but his swing has really clicked into gear and in the last 3 tournaments. He's finished 6th, 19th and 1st in greens and regulation his last 3 tournaments. He's striking his ball absolutely magnificently. He just needs his putter to warm up a little bit and it'll be a serious contender. He recruited a new caddy at the start of this streak, just before the Scandinavian Invitation. Martin Bosch come onto his bag, a young caddy, and they've gelled superbly. He found 18 greens in regulation, Luathorn, in round 3 of the Scandinavian Invitation. He found 85% of greens in regulation last time out in the KLM Open last week. So his long game is in pristine condition. As I say, Wentworth is a tough tee to green test. So Jos Luathorn can chase home Shane Lowry, and then again 3 more at massive prices. Marcus Kinhult, I'm a big fan of him. I've mentioned him a lot, but I think we'll get our reward soon. He won the British Masters in Southport in May. Really gutsy effort, saw off Matt Wallace and Eddie Pepperell in that. He seems to enjoy playing in England. He won the Lytham Trophy by 8 shots as an amateur. He qualified for the US Open at Walton Heath in June. He's back at another Surrey track this week.
Does that matter, Steve? I mean, playing well in it. Why would a golfer play better in England? There doesn't seem any logic in that.
Well, there's logic in a lot of Scandinavian players seem to play well in England. There was similar sort of temperatures, similar climates, chilly mornings, and you'll be amazed how the Scandinavians in the English seem to perform well in those events. So I think it is a factor.
Okay.
And probably the biggest factor of all is Kinholt's performance at Wentworth last year, making his debut, open with a 74. He came into that event off form figures of miscut 63. He was the world number 202, world number 203, a rookie maiden. So he's staring at another miscut. And then he fired rounds of 67, 68, and 70 to finish 12th. It was an amazing comeback. I said he dropped a massive hint there that Wentworth is for him. And this time, obviously, he's got the win. He's much more confident. He closed with a pair of 65s in his last event at Crans. So Marcus Kinholt is the pick of the outsiders. Alexander Bjork, number 4. 2 solid previous Wentworth spins, 14th and 27th. Current form of 23, 20, 28, 22 since the Open. Well suited to this assignment. He was runner-up in the British Masters at Walton Heath in Surrey last year. And then the final one, Andrea Pavan. We've been following him a lot lately. He won the BMW International in June. He was 4th in the Scottish Open in July. And his form figures in the last 3 events are 3, 16, 12. So Pavan just bursting with form and confidence. I think he can play Wentworth well. He hasn't done in the past, but he's never arrived in such vibrant fashion.
No, it's going to be interesting for those kind of guys you've tipped there, because they're all of a sudden all the big guns have swaggered into town, haven't they? So let's go through them. And obviously we start with Rory McIlroy. Like I say, he's the market leader at 6-1 with Star Sports. And actually that looking at the table in the Racing Post today is industry best. So I'd imagine Glenn and the guys at Star Sports are trying to get him. Is that a defensible play, do you think?
I think they should try and get him. Yeah, I didn't find any of the market leaders appealing. You're right. There's lots of big names there, but none of them really caught my eye. I mean, McIlroy's an interesting one. He's played Wentworth 9 times and he's missed the cut 4 times. So he's all duck or no dinner, as they say at Wentworth. He either he's won it in 2014. He was runner up last year. So he either performs really well or really badly, and I don't think the weather conditions are helping Rory this week. It's warm sunshine in the build-up, baking conditions over the weekend, and he prefers softer terrain to unleash his power on. So I'm not keen on Rory. I thought it was a very short price this week.
Okay, Johnny Rahm is second favourite. What have we got him in at? He's 11-1 chance, and again, that's a big price compared to what the other bookmakers are doing. So I think Glenn's trying to get him in the book as well. What do you think of the temperamental Spaniard?
Yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it, John Rahm, because he's making his course debut. This is a very well-established track. There's been hundreds of tournaments at Wentworth, and I think that's a significant disadvantage. But on the flip side, he's been absolutely awesome in regulation European Tour events. He's quickly won 4 of them, hasn't played in many, and he seems to come over at you talk about swagger. John Rahm is the man. When he has that downgrade to, this is a good event, but when he has that downgrade from the US Tour, he usually performs. But I don't know, not for me. I don't like back and course debutants. Okay,
you said you don't particularly like Paul Casey, but he comes into this with a 1 against his name in the most recent form figure. So can he follow up?
Very popular selection this week, but he's won at Wentworth. It's very old form, isn't it? He won the match play in the dark ages. He also won the PGA, but he's only played in one of the last 5 PGAs at Wentworth. And as I say, there's been lots of course changes in that period. Over the last decade, they're constantly tinkering with the track. So he hasn't got a lot of experience of the modern Wentworth. He's playing well, obviously got a chance, but again, not for me.
When did they change the form? I used to like the old Toyota World match play at Wentworth. It was good.
Yeah, it died a death in 2007, unfortunately.
Was it really? You used to get Isao Aoki and people like that coming in, didn't you? So
it seems like only yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. You used to have the form guys and then a few favourites and then a couple of sort of old names from the blasts from the past, didn't you? It was always quite an intriguing lineup.
36-hole matches, wasn't it? And the first round, if you were seeded, you didn't have to play. It was a huge advantage. So, yeah.
Those were the days, weren't they?
Those were the days.
Right then, the fine young man, Justin Rose, is 4th in. Can he win this, Steve?
The fine young man, he's gone slightly off the boil, isn't he? He likes Wentworth. I remember following him there once when I had him in a double with someone. I remember headbutting a tree actually when Justin Rose. There's so many trees at Wentworth; they're always just around you. Like if you have a little angry burst, you do tend up hitting a tree. But yeah, Rose almost won me an absolute fortune there one year. He does perform well at Wentworth. But yeah, as I say, I'm not sure he's gone off the boil. But his ball striking has been very unrose rose-like of late. That's what I'll say about him.
Okay. I do want to ask you about someone a little further down the list. I thought Tyrrell Hatton, I see 50-1 against his name. It just struck me as slightly too big. Are you going to deter me?
No, I won't deter you. I mean, Englishmen have got a fantastic record in this event, particularly Englishmen from the south of England, which he fits that category. High Wycombe.
Can he sleep in his own bed tonight?
I don't know how far's High Wycombe from.
That's not far at all.
No, yeah, he might well sleep in his own bed. He likes his cars, doesn't he? So a little drive would do him good. But yeah, I'm not sure his ball striking's been quite crisp enough to pass the Wentworth assignment lately.
Righty-ho. Any other thoughts on the tournament before we wrap?
Well, I'd just say to punters, just don't get too keen on the market leaders. I think there's some good value deep down the list. I mean, your likes of Pavan, he's in red hot form, but because he's not a household name, and you will get a lot of casual punters getting involved in this tournament because it is, it's the sort of armchair casual punters get involved in it. Sorry, I'm rambling again. I'm so tired. I got about 2 hours sleep last night, but I would advise punters to delve deeper down the lists.
Oh no, how come you slept so badly?
Oh, it's the 4-month regression, innit? Oh, Tommy Tigers had the 4-month regression. Have you heard of that one? Where they just suddenly stop sleeping at all during the night. They settle into it, and then they after 4 months they just suddenly flip back again. He just won't sleep in the night now. So
I'm not sure that's a thing. I think that's something that since like Mumsnet came along or something, someone's invented that. I've never heard of that, mate. But that's no good, is it? So he was up all night, was he?
Yeah, he was up all night, yeah. So.
And Wednesday night's your night out as well, isn't it? Were you drinking pints of foaming ale?
I'm aiming to, yeah. I might be drinking them with my eyes closed, but I'm aiming to, yeah.
Jolly good. Right, okay, then well, good luck with Lowry et al. At Wentworth. We will do the Sanderson Farms Championship next.
Starsports.bet provide the complete betting experience. Find us online via our website and app, on course, and at our flagship betting shop in London's Mayfair. 18 years and older only. BeGambleAware.org.
Okay, the other tournament taking place this week is the Sanderson Farms Championship. It's in Jackson, Missouri. And you need to get your bets by 12:45 on Thursday lunchtime. Here is the latest betting from Star Sports. Each way backers can get a 5th to 6. And Joaquin Neiman, last week's winner, is 12-1 favourite. It's then 16-1 Brandt Snedeker, 18-1 Sunjay Im, 22-1 Corey Connors, 25-1 Byung-Hun An, 25-1 Lucas Glover, and Scotty Scheffler, 28-1 Brian Harmon, 33-1 Cameron Smith, and 35-1 Barr. So not quite as good a tournament, Steve, as at Wentworth in terms of quality, but are there some decent bets? Let's find out who your main man here is.
Well, we must first say it's in Mississippi. Very easy to get your Mississippis and your Missouri.
Oh, God, sorry. How remiss of me. Yeah, Mississippi, yeah. I need to start wearing my spectacles. That was ridiculous. Anyway, go on.
It was very Mississippi of you, but we're in the country club
the
of Jackson.
State of me, eh?
7,421 yards, R72. It's been the venue since 2014. Seriously hot temperatures in Mississippi at the moment, so firm, fast conditions are almost certain unless we get some thunderstorms. Very slick greens. I mean, when we go into these puzzles that golf tournaments are, it's always a case of can we find sort of certain players that that go for the list of winners. Are they similar types of players? The last two winners of this tournament, Ryan Armour and Cameron Champ. I mean, they are chalk and cheese. Two most contrasting players. You couldn't ask for two more contrasting players. So
that was one of the Postcast's finest moments, wasn't it? Cameron Champ winning.
Cameron Champ, we love Cameron Champ.
Discovered him and he went and won it, didn't he? That was brilliant.
Well, he's gone right off the ball now, hasn't he? But punters need to be open-minded this week. There's clearly more than one way to skin this particular cat. But as I say, with the firm, fast conditions, I think I'd favour your Armours over your Champs this week. But yeah, best bet, Sung Jae Im, who's a classic all-rounder. He's got no weaknesses in his game. So I think Sung Jae Im can win on any track, and I think this week is perfect for him. Last week we had a 20-year-old winner in Joachim Neiman. I think we're going to have a 21-year-old winner this week. The young guns are taking over the PGA Tour. We know that with your who's called Eric Hovland. Do you remember that Manchester United forward that was Eric, rubbish, wasn't he? But Victor Hovland, Matty Wolf, Colin Morikawa. This is a young man's game now, the PGA Tour. Sung Jae Im is good enough to play alongside these guys. He was voted the 2019 Rookie of the Year by his peers, which surprised a few people because he hadn't had a win to his name. But it's his consistency which has impressed.
He never has a week off either, does he?
Never has a week off, and is on the leaderboard relentlessly. He's had 13 top 20s. He was third at Bay Hill and fourth at the Valspar Championship. He's going to turn that consistency into silverware soon. I think it happens this week because during all those appearances on the leaderboard, almost all of them have been course debuts. He has to deal with course unfamiliarity. But this week he's actually played the course before. He played it last year. He missed the cut by a couple of shots, but at least he's seen it. And there's big excuses for that failure because it came the week after the CJ Cup, which is in his homeland of Korea, PGA Tour event, Jeju Island, which is his birthplace. So he went over there. Huge spotlight on him last year. Ernie Els was blowing sunshine up his arse in press conferences. It was Sungjae him this, Sungjae him that, and a mid-division effort. And then he got back on the plane for the Sanderson Farms. He was absolutely knackered, and he missed the cut. So I wouldn't worry about that missed cut last year for Sungjae him. It's helped us. It's helped us as punters to get a better price. The course is ideal for him. He's much fresher and much more confident this time. I think for the second week running, one of the rising stars of the PGA Tour gets off the mark.
Okay, and the main danger, talking of rising stars and indeed people who this particular postcast have highlighted a lot lately, I bring you...
You bring us Corey Connors, and if Glenn was well enough, I expect he would have gone for Corey Connors. He's a big fan. Last year's runner-up behind Cameron Champ. He was 423rd in the world rankings for that event. He didn't have full PGA Tour status, and then he finishes second behind Cameron Champ. So a great effort. He followed that up with third place in the Sony Open. He won the Texas Open. Then he made it all the way to the Tour Championship, finishing the season with a wet sail. Finishing with a wet sail, as they like to say. He finished the season ranked 71st in the world, so a huge burst up the world rankings. This is where it all started for Corey Connors. He'd be brimming with self-belief coming into this when he topped the greens and regulation stats last season. So I think win number 2 is coming for Connors soon. It could come this week.
He just doesn't putt well, does he, Steve? Is that the one thing that's stopping him from really getting to that very top echelon?
You're absolutely right, Bruce. I mean, the fact he topped the greens and regulation stats is staggering, isn't it, when you consider the quality of players around him? But yeah, that's right. He doesn't convert enough opportunities. But he enjoyed these greens last year, and this could be the week where he really sparks with a flat stick. And then we got 3 more. We got 5 at Wentworth, 5 in Jackson. Scotty Scheffler. Again, we're big fans of Scotty Scheffler on this podcast. He's a Texan playing relatively close to home this week. His 2019 Corn Ferry Tour campaign was absolutely glorious. He was the star of that circuit. He won twice. He finished runner-up twice, and he signed off with form figures of 1:11.7. And then he opened up last week on the PGA Tour and finished 7th in the Greenbrier. He has course experience. He was ranked 1,459th in the world when he made his Sanderson Farms debut last October, tied for 45th place. Now he's up to 84th in the world. I mean, what a burst that is. He topped the greens and regulation stats last week. So Scotty Scheffler will win soon, possibly this week. And then 2 more. Cameron Smith, talented Aussie youngster. He won the Zurich Classic Pairs event alongside Jonas Blixt across the Mississippi border in 2017. He's had 1 look at the Sanderson Farms, finished 11th in that. 2016, much more confident player, 3 years on. And looks like he's returning to form lately. And the big price one I like in this tournament is Robbie Shelton, who I think is potentially a world-class player. He's been very, very highly thought of in his amateur days. Apparently, he likes playing close to home. Bit of a homeboy, might have hampered his progress, previously. But Shelton has got a huge future ahead of him, I think. And this event is very close to home for him. He was born in Alabama. He's raised in Alabama. He still lives in Alabama. That's across the Mississippi border. He won twice on the Corn Ferry Tour this year, and they were both in Tennessee, which again is across it's a neighboring state of Mississippi. So he seems to play well close to home. And last week he was 7th alongside Scotty Scheffler in the Greenbrier. So it looks like he's going to make the most of his PGA Tour card this year.
Steve, what's the negative with Joachim Neiman, the young upstart who won so well last week?
Yeah, there are not many negatives, but last year, as I say, he had those amazing course credentials. He was a gift for punters who love course form. And this week he's making his course debut, so it's a different kettle of fish. I mean, I think he'll like the course, and I think he could well win, but the odds, not that attractive.
And if you look at the last 4 winners, we've had Malnati at 250 to 1, Cody Gribble at 100, Ryan Armour at 125, and Cameron Champ at 66, plus loads and loads of massive big price place contenders. So it's worth punters taking a chance if they fancy one at a larger price, isn't it?
Absolutely, John. I mean, 6 of the last 7 have been maidens. 6 of the last 7 winners are maidens. The last 4 have been American maidens. So, this is a great chance for a lesser light to make his name. Although it must be said that now this is the strongest field it's ever had, because the prize purse has gone up. It used to be alongside the WGC HSBC Champions as an event for those who didn't qualify for that, but now it's all the attention's on it. The fact that Brandt Snedeker's turned up for it, I mean, you've got some bigger fish here now, haven't you? Because there is only one PGA Tour event this week.
What are the real big fish doing at this time of year, Steve? Your Dustins and your Justin Thomases and Koepka and those kind of guys. Are they, because we've obviously got a reshaped calendar this year, I guess they're having to kind of review and renew their schedules and when they take their downtime? Absolutely.
I mean, your Dustin Johnsons are recovering from knee surgery, aren't they? Dustin Johnson had a little bit of knee surgery after the final event he played. So, I'm not sure what he's up to. But, I think the HSBC Champions is on the horizon. You get some big guns out for that. They'll all be doing it differently. Justin Thomas played a lot of those. He might fancy a bit of CJ Cup action. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, any of them just say, sod it, I'm not going to see you till Hawaii in January.
Dustin would probably go for that. Brooks Koepka maybe. Yeah. I'm not sure. They've all got different schedules, haven't they? I mean, Rory McIlroy is a very busy boy at the moment. You think the FedEx Cup winner would want to just have a chill out for a bit, but he's very active on the European Tour. He played at Crans the other day. He's playing Wentworth this week. All different.
If you were a world top 10 golfer, Steve, how much would you play?
I'd do it like Tiger Woods, just play like 16 events and just win all the majors and rest up and rehabilitate and deal with sex addictions and whatnot. I think coming in fresh, because golf is such a mental game, isn't it? You've got to be fresh between the ears to play good golf. I mean, we play our best golf when we haven't we've had a little break. So I think I would play a maximum of 16 events.
Okay, jolly good. Right then. Okay, let's round up the selection, shall we? Like I say, no Glenn this week. Poor old Glenn, get well soon. But Steve, just summarise for everyone who you fancy this week. We'll start with the BMW.
The BMW, Shane Lowry, Gilles Lewitton, Marcus Kinholt, Alexander Bjork and Andrea Pavin.
And then the Sanderson Farms Championship.
Sanderson Farms Championship, Sung Jae Im, Corey Connors, who I think Glenn would have gone for. We'll ask him next week when he wins. Scotty Scheffler, Cameron Smith and Robbie Shelton. Who do you think Glenn would have gone for at Wentworth? Probably Wiesberger. He loves Wiesberger, doesn't he? Yeah, he does love a Wiesberger, and it's a stiff tee to green test would suit Wiesberger. So we'll put him down for Wiesberger and Connors, shall we? Yeah, why not? Okay, jolly good. And if you only had one bet this week? It would be the Sung Jae Im, Shane Lowry each way double. Are you doing that? I have done that. Jolly good. Right, what happens between now and next week? Have you got any fun stuff lined up in your life? I love this event, so I want to watch as much of this as possible. Work hard, play hard, eat hard, drink hard, do everything extremely hard. And are you still just on this fish diet? Oh, no, that's ended. No, I chatted to that when I was playing golf here. The old pescatarianism. I made a month of pescatarianism in a bid to sort my health out. But I had a roast on Sunday. It ended on Sunday. So I did a month. I don't know whether it helped or not. I read up on like the negatives of it, and there was a few negatives about like muscle development and stuff. So I'm not the sort of brawniest character in the world. And I thought, heck, if I'm taking, if meat helps you get bigger muscles, and I'm taking that out of my diet. Yeah. I'm going to end up like Mr. Bean. So I've restored meat to my diet. I've heard one of the big problems of being a pescatarian is that you drink like a fish. Right then. That's a good one. On that note, next week we have got the Alfred Dunhill Links up in Scotland. Is that the usual thing? 3 courses, Steve, up there? Yeah, I think so. That's a good one. Yeah, the European Tour. You had a big downer on the European Tour, didn't you? It's getting really good. It's coming into its own, isn't it? It is coming into its own, yeah. Okay, the team will be back on Friday to look ahead to all the racing. We've also got football on Thursday, so if those are your bag, please join us for that. If not, back next Wednesday for another Racing Post Golf Postcast.
Give them the hole!
Long-term golf markets for 2020 available now on starsports.bet, including the Open, the Masters and the Ryder Cup from Wisconsin. 18 years and older only, begambleaware.org.